Welcome to EPG Pathashala. My name is Mahendra Reddy. I am working as Assistant Professor in Tourism at National Institute of Tourism and Hospitality Management, Hyderabad. Now we are going to discuss about the paper on tourism in India. In this we are going to discuss about Introduction to Tourism module. After this chapter or at the end of the module you will be able to learn what is tourism and how tourism is defined, why tourism is important, and what are the service dimensions of tourism, what are the different terminologies that we use in general in tourism, that you will be able to learn after this. And so what is tourism? Tourism is basically about traveling from one place to other place for different reasons. Basically it is about traveling for a recreation and leisure purposes, and nowadays this purpose has been changing. There are many other regions, people are moving from one place to other places, visiting friends, for learning different cultures, to see the different attractions, to learn about different arts, crafts and all these things, and maybe some educational purpose, and maybe for a business point of view. So these are the major regions, or generally tourists travel from one place to other places. And tourism is important or a vital factor for many countries because of many different regions. So basically there are multiple impacts on a tourist destination, and both generating region and the destination region. Basically these impacts are generally socio-economic and environmental impacts. There will be income generation for the local people if tourism is developed, and there will be employment generation. There will be other impacts environment can be conserved, nature or cultural buildings or monuments can be conserved through tourism development. And the factors or components of tourism in this area are generally so basically tourism is service industry. It consists of different components like transportation, accommodation services, and other hospitality services and tourist attractions. Okay, now let's say transport services, we have different transport services that we use in tourism, like roadways, airways, waterways, of course railways. So these are the different modes of transportations that we use in tourism, and examples like cruise, airlines, taxis, trains, different trains again in luxury trains, all these things. And the other component is accommodation. In accommodation also we have different types of accommodations like hotels, restaurants and entertainment venues, and there are other accommodations like time sharing accommodations or resorts. So these are also part of the accommodation services. And we have other hospitality services such as spas, theme park, resorts. For example, if any tourist goes to any particular purpose, maybe let's say business tourist, if person going from India or Hyderabad to Thailand, they may go for a business purpose, but they may take other ancillary services or other services like spa or any other services in a hotels, and they may visit to theme parks, or if they have enough time they may go to resorts. But in generally in tourism most of the people are going for a recreation and entertainment purpose, but there are some other people like business and medical treatments, all these things. And the other reasons, what are the reasons for a tourist to move from one place to other place? Generally they are motivated with different reasons. So basically escape, relaxation, recreation, so these are the major motivational factors that contribute for a movement of like moving from one place to other places, and other reasons like strengthening their family bonds, or maybe visiting their relatives, visiting friends, and other reasons maybe prestige or social interactions, because there are many people visiting just to see other cultures and interact with other people and learn about their culture and take or get something back to their place and practice that. And there are other reasons like sexual opportunity. Let's say many people nowadays are going for a different regions like sexual tourism. So this concept emerged recently. It is becoming very popular in countries like Thailand and some other European countries. So if you take India, majority of the people are going to Thailand basically for a sex tourism. And there will be other opportunity or motivations like educational opportunity. So especially if you take college students or university students, like they are going to learn about different natures, cultures, and their art, architecture, all these things. And some people may go for a self-fulfillment, like some people will have some motivation that I have to visit that particular place by end of this year, or in my lifetime I have to visit some places. Let's say if you take India, some people they'll be having a motivation of visiting some pilgrimage centers. So like different religions will have different places, so that is their self-fulfillment, or they wanted to visit those particular region places. And nowadays the other motivations are like shopping, experiencing different cuisines and cultures. So let's say majority of the people now are moving to Dubai, especially for shopping, because Dubai has become a very popular shopping tourist destination, and they are not simply going for a shopping in that particular tour. They are also experiencing different cultures and cuisines. Like if you go to any place, for example Hyderabad, if any tourist comes to Hyderabad, they will definitely taste Hyderabad biryani or any cuisine that is popular in this particular place. Because nowadays wherever you go, apart from the recreation and entertainment, they are also looking for cuisines and different cultures. And if you take some European countries, beer tourism or wine tourism, these are also very popular, and it comes under cuisine and different cultural tourisms. And there are other reasons like enhancing individuals' overall health and lifestyles. For example, medical tourism, health tourism, wellness tourism. So these are very old concepts. Like medical may be a recent phenomena, but health and wellness tourism is very old. People used to travel from one place to other places, especially coastal areas or beaches, for improving their lifestyle. And nowadays medical tourism is also one of the reason people to move from one place to other place, especially if you take India, Thailand, other South Asian countries, or emerging medical tourist destination because of many factors, maybe the cost saving or not availing the technology or the facilities that they require for medical treatments. So India is having all the fulfilling all the requirements for medical tourism. So many tourists are coming to India. Apart from medical treatments, they are also going to different places to see the different cultures and all these things. And there are some other tourists like which are interested in finding their roots and history, or this particular form of tourism is called genealogy tourism or ancestry tourism. Like Scotland is promoting ancestral tourism. Like during World War, many people scattered in different places, and they are providing some information. If you provide some your demographic profile or some information, they will provide some documents, and you can visit those particular places and you can find your ancestral places and their activities, all those things in that particular place. We have already discussed about the text on what are the motivations of tourism. Now you can see the pictures. There are like a different pictures. You can see the beach and hill stations, waterfalls and lakes. Like some people are interested to go to natural places, as I mentioned about beaches and waterfalls and the lakes and hill stations. You can see these pictures like waterfalls. Niagara waterfalls is very popular in Canada. There are many tourists every year go to this particular place, and there is a huge impact on that particular destination. And major or initially the motivation for visiting these places are nature and recreation. So there are some other motivations to visit some tourist destinations, like cultural motivations. Some people are interested to see the monuments and different cultures, forts, palaces and the museums. You can see in this picture, the first picture, Taj Mahal. There are many people going to Taj Mahal, see how Taj Mahal was built and what is the importance, like because it is one of the World Heritage Site and it is attracting many tourists, even the international tourists. Second picture you can see, that is Buddha statue in Hyderabad, that is in Hussain Sagar. So it is also attracting many people. It is not simply recreation culture, there is also recreation factor or a recreation mode as a motivation to visit this particular place. And the other picture you can see is a culture, that is Shilparamam in Hyderabad. If you go to Hyderabad, in Shilparamam you can see different cultures of Telugu places or villages, how it was and what are their regular activities and how they used to do cultivation and agriculture and other things. So that you can see in this particular place. If you go to Shilparamam, so it is basically about the culture. So the other picture you can see, that is Golconda Fort, and there are many people interested to know about the history of particular place. If you go to this place, you will understand how the city was developed and how this fort was constructed and what are the different technologies that they used in the past, that you can see that. So whatever the picture that you have seen, basically it is about the monuments and what are the constructions, what are the architectural styles that you have seen. And now you can see the different picture. It is about living traditions. Like many people are interested to go and see what are the different dance forms and art forms and music forms. Let's say you can see the first picture is at Hampi. There are many people coming to World Heritage Sites in Hampi, that is in Karnataka. So basically they are interested to see the World Heritage Site, different arts, architecture styles, and the foreign tourist you can see in the picture is very interested about the culture and she is buying the local handicrafts. So that means tourism, these people are initially motivated by culture. And the other picture you can see, the Lambada dance is very popular in Telangana state of India, and this is also the prime motivation to see the cultural factors. And the other reason you can see the classical dances. In India, classical dances and music are very popular throughout the world, and there are many tourists who are coming to India specially showing interest to see the different dance forms. Like this particular dance form is a Kuchipudi. You can see Raja Radha Reddy, so they are performing Kuchipudi. So people who are coming to Hyderabad or Delhi, generally they will go for these cultural performances which they can see the live performance. So now we'll go to definitions. So we have already discussed about what is tourism, what are the components, what are the motivations. So now you got some idea what exactly the tourism is. So now we'll go to the technical terms like what is definition of tourism and who gave definitions, what are the different definitions, what are the terminologies, that we'll discuss. Let's say in general, tourism means is a temporary or a short term movement of people from one place to other places, generally their home places to other different places, and they normally live and work as well as their activities during their stay at these destinations may be different from one person to other persons. So basically this definition says that tourism is a short term or a temporary movement from one place to other places. For example, if you are going to, let's say, from Hyderabad to Delhi, and if you are staying let's say less than 6 months for the purpose of visiting the places or a recreation, generally it is said as a tourism. But if you are going to stay there as a permanent person, maybe for a different reasons, for employment, all these things, generally you are not considered as a tourist, and that means tourism is a temporary and short-term movement from one place to other places, generally to see the destinations like a different like arts, crafts and culture and nature. So there are many definitions given by different people, like Jafar Jafri has given definition, and Tourism League Committee, and different countries have given different definitions. But so there is no typical definition that will reflect exact components or exact phenomena of tourism, but still we are following the definition of UNWTO. Majority of the countries or a majority of the literature you can find generally is UNWTO definition. What is UNWTO? UNWTO is a United Nations World Tourism Organization, so that is working for the development of tourism in a different countries. So according to UNWTO definition, tourism is or tourism comprises the activities of person traveling to and staying in places outside their usual environment for not more than one consecutive year, and doing some leisure, business or other activities. So according to this particular definition, there should be some activities if you take any recreation or any generally travel from one place to other places. And so in this picture you can see that is a symbol or logo of UNWTO, and the other picture is the headquarters of United Nations World Tourism Organizations, which is located in Madrid, that is in Spain. Okay, now we have gone through the definition of tourism. There are like other terminologies that we use in generally are domestic tourism, international tourism, inbound tourism, outbound tourism. Let's see what is domestic tourism. Domestic tourism involves generally tourism or trips taken by the local residents so within the country. For example, I am a tourist, I am living in Hyderabad, and I may move to Mumbai or Delhi for a recreation or a tourism purpose. I will be considered as a domestic tourist. That means I am traveling within the country. I may be traveling from one place to or one state to other state or any other state within the country, but in general it is or travel is taking place within the country. So I am a domestic tourist. So this is the meaning of domestic tourism. So the other word generally we use is international tourism. So what is international tourism? International tourism involves trips taken or between two countries. So that means there will be minimum of two countries, that is inbound and outbound tourism of a country. For example, I am resident of India, I am staying in Hyderabad, I may go to USA or a Thailand or a Japan, any other country. So then I will be considered as an international tourist. So that is inbound and outbound, again two types, like which we receive from other countries generally for example, any tourist coming from US to India is inbound tourist. Again, that comes under international tourism. If I travel from India, any place from India to Thailand, again I will be considered as outbound tourist. That is also comes under international tourism. So the other terminology is tourist. What is tourist? According to United Nations World Tourism Organization definition, a tourist is a person who travels to destinations outside his or her residence and working place and stays for at least 24 hours in destination or a tourist destination where we go for the purpose of leisure and business. So that according to this particular definition, as a tourist, if I travel one place to other place, I should stay in a destination or a tourist place at least 24 hours or minimum of 24 hours. So the other word is international tourist. International tourist is a tourist or a visitor who visits another country and stays at least one night in collective or a private accommodation in the country where you are visiting. And what is domestic tourist? So domestic tourist, a visitor who stays at least one night in collectively or a private accommodation in the place where you are visiting, so that is within the country. So for example, let's say I am a domestic tourist, means I will go to Tirupati from Hyderabad and I will stay in Tirupati for a minimum of 24 hours and I will take some accommodation and other facilities in Tirupati. That means I am traveling within the country and I am taking some services in a tourist destination of Tirupati. So that means I will be considered as domestic tourist. Okay, we have already discussed about the different terminology. Now we are depicting this terminology of outbound tourism and inbound tourism in this particular picture. So in any tourism there will be, or in any tourism system there will be two components mainly, that is tourist generating region and tourist receiving region or the tourist destination region. So with this we are going to discuss about outbound tourism and inbound tourism. So what is outbound tourism? So I am staying in Hyderabad as a tourist. Let's say I am a generating staying in a generating region. I want to go to Thailand. Thailand is a destination region or receiving country. So if I travel from Hyderabad to Thailand, I will be considered as outbound tourist. And if a tourist comes from Thailand to India, and he will be considered as inbound tourism. This whole process is called as international tourism. Now we will discuss about what are the dimensions of tourism. So we have different dimensions in services of tourism, like intangibility and inseparability, differentiation, perishability. So these are the major characteristics or the service dimensions of tourism. So let us discuss intangibility and differentiation and perishability. So intangibility means, let's say tourism is a product, it's a service product. For example, hotel is there. Hotel, if you sell the room today, it will be sold. But if you don't sell today, that it lasts for the day. For example, let's say a physical product, let's say pen. Pen, if you don't sell it today, you can sell it tomorrow also. Whereas in tourism, as a service, if you don't sell that particular room for today, you may be losing for this day. So you may be selling, but for that particular day you are losing. You can sell it tomorrow, but for that particular day it is lost. Okay. And other characteristics are, you can't store it or you can't keep it for long time. For example, food as a tourism product or a service product of hospitality, you have to, if you are prepared for this day, you have to consume it today only. If you are not consuming it today, you can't use it for tomorrow. So that means it is lost for the day. And tourism is and seasonal. And it seasonal means like tourism depends on season, like different regions and different countries will have different seasons. Particular destination may be popular for a particular region, and throughout that season there will be tourism development and tourism movement. Otherwise, after that you may not be having that tourism. So that means income generation, revenue generation, employment generation will be there in that particular season only. In rest of that season you can't expect these impacts. So now we'll see like why tourism is important. Tourism is important for many countries, for many different regions. Basically it is one of the world's fastest and largest industry, and it is providing employment generation to the local community, tax generation to the government, and it also conserving the local culture, arts, craft and natural heritage. Apart from this, it is conserving both the nature and culture. You can see many tourist destinations, let's say tiger reserves in India is very popular, and whatever the fees you are collecting through the entry, that indirectly you are providing for the conservation of that particular wildlife or a national park. And in other way, when it comes to heritage like monuments, whatever the fee you are collecting, that you can diversify for the conservation of that particular monument. You can see this particular picture, why tourism is important, because it is developing the infrastructure. Let's say many tourist destinations in India got very good roads and airports, other railways, just because of tourism development. So you can see that there are like airports, flights like bus services and cruise services and train services. So these will be developed if tourism is developed. So this, because of this particular region, tourism is important. The other reason, let's say economic impact or economic importance, it will generate the tax to the local people and government, and it is also contributing for the gross domestic like a GDP for the country. Tourism is one of the major contributor for a GDP. Now we have discussed what is tourism, what are the different types of tourism, what are the components, what are the terminologies, why it is important. So now we will conclude all these things. Let's say tourism is vital for a different regions, for a different countries. Basically it is important for different countries because it is providing socio-economic and environmental impacts in that particular destination, because it is providing employment generation, it is providing tax benefits to the government, it improves the infrastructure, it conserves the biodiversity and other cultural or built heritage. And tourism in different forms or types, let's say agri-tourism, cultural tourism, nature tourism and activity based tourism, and alternative forms of tourism like a poverty tourism, sustainable tourism, responsible tourism. So all these things we have discussed, and we are using different terminology for this, like inbound tourism, outbound tourism, international tourism, and different tourist terminologies like international tourist, domestic tourist, outbound tourist and inbound tourist. So this is the summary, and for further details you please go through the e-text and other quadrants like further learning components that you can refer if you want more information about this particular module. Thank you.